2-0 downtown against Derby, but here's a chance to build a comeback. Colin Grant's penalty, beautifully converted, low to the keeper's left, sending Kelleros, the Derby keeper, the wrong way. Town 1, Derby 2. Great strike from the spot, Colin Grant. Another chance, and this one to put Town ahead at Loftus Road against the QPR keeper Lumley. Colin Grant, right-footed, scores away to the keeper's left-hand side with a nicely struck mid-height penalty. 2 for the season already, Colin Grant, both from the penalty spot. It's Queen's Park Rangers 0, Huddersfield Town 1. And Town pick it up. Here's Hogg, nice move to the right-hand side to get round Harry Arter's challenge. He supplies Harajanai, nice looking cross. Here's Colin Grant. Was that into the back of the net? Was it in? Referee signals goal. Bettinelli tried to pour it away, but it's crossed the line, and Colin Grant, with a well-placed header, has scored his 3rd goal of the season already. Grant's misplaced pass is intercepted by Bennett. The clearance, though, picked up by Chalobah. 25 yards out, Chalobah turns, holds off the defender, then the left-footed shot into the back of the net. A beautiful drilled left-footed equaliser. Trevor Chalobah's 1st goal for Huddersfield Town. A beauty after a patient waiting game. Cardiff 1, Huddersfield Town 1. Flat cross. Colin Grant's got to reach behind him. Congolo plays a neat 1-2 with Schindler in the box. Congolo's cross bundled into the back of the net by Colin Grant at the far post. Town take the lead at Luton in front of their own travelling support, and a wonderful piece of improvisation by Terence Congolo with Schindler's help. Colin Grant is claiming the goal, though it was a little scruffy and may have even taken a touch off a defender. It's Luton 0, Town 1. Flattish goal kick delivered by Grabara, but it's miscontrolled in midfield by West Brom. Lewis O'Brien plays a 1-2 with Campbell meanwhile. O'Brien shot, left-footed goal! Lewis O'Brien's 1st goal for Huddersfield Town! A wonderful curling, low left-footed strike past a slow-to-react Johnston in the West Brom goal. What a turn-up this is after the start to the season that Town have had. West Brom 0, Huddersfield Town 1. Take a bow, Lewis O'Brien. Here's Kachunga, and Kachunga makes space, pokes it through. Here's Colin Grant to score for Huddersfield Town. Kachunga's ball into the box, found Grant amid 3 flat-footed West Bromwich Albion defenders, and that's a superb piece of opportunism for Colin Grant's 5th goal of the season already. Town hit the front again at the Hawthorns to lead 2-1 against host West Brom. Jaden Brown and Jonathan Hogg combined down the left-hand side, and though the combinations come loose, Town have found it again, and here's Colin Grant supplying Campbell, and Campbell scored for Huddersfield Town. His 1st ever goal for his hometown club. Colin Grant the supplier, but a great calm side-footed finish by Fraser Campbell has given Town a 1-0 lead against Millwall. The ball's lifted long and clear by Town. O'Brien picks it up off a miscontrol by Njai. It falls to Bakuna, who releases Diakabi down the right, and suddenly Town are building a chance. Here's Bakuna arriving. Bakuna smashes it into the back of the net. Return pass by Diakabi. Janinia Bakuna's broken his duck for the season shortly after coming on as a sub. Oh boy, did he take his chance. It's Stoke 0, Huddersfield Town 1, and there is Huddersfield Town's most important goal of the season so far. They are minutes away from their 1st victory of the campaign. Town pick it up anyway on halfway and feed it down like Diakabi down the right-hand side. Diakabi delays his pass, finds Bakuna. Bakuna into Grant, who shoots beautifully into the bottom corner. Colin Grant, a shot on the turn for his 6th goal of the season, and Huddersfield Town lead Hull City by a goal to 0. They could be on the brink of a 1st home win of the season now. They were thinking of bringing Fraser Campbell on for Diakabi anyway, so there may still be a couple of subs to be made. Diakabi looks okay. He sprinted past the vice, serves up the cross. Bakuna drives in the 2nd goal. A brilliant strike by Bakuna on the run. His 2nd goal in consecutive matches. The roof has nearly come off the John Smith Stadium because Huddersfield Town are about to deliver Danny Cowley's 1st home win as the new manager. 2-0 Town. Back-to-back wins are in the offing. Off the back of their work today. A 2-0 platform. What a pass by Bacuna down the inside left. He's found O'Brien. Deflected cross. Goal, Huddersfield Town! Now Elias Kachunga's in on the act. What a move down the left-hand side. Kachunga pounced on the deflection by a defender and off the underside of the bar has absolutely capped Town's best performance of the season, probably the whole of 2019. Huddersfield Town 3, Hull City 0. The celebrations can last for a while. Grant takes his time, hands on hips. Now the referee's whistle, and Grant will strike it. Right-footed, lots of movement on his line by Walton. Grant scores, low to the keeper's right. He sent Walton the wrong way. A third superbly taken penalty of the season by Karlan Grant. It's his 7th goal of the campaign already, and it's Blackburn 0, Huddersfield Town 1.
Excellent penalty.
Trailing 2-1 here at Blackburn, but probing, coming up with ideas again. Diakabi finds Bacuna, the go-to man, since he came on as a sub. A touch by Kachunga. Bacuna's in the box, left-footed shot, equaliser Bacuna. He's done it again. The Dutchman on target with a low, careful, left-footed shot past Walton. Town are back headed at Ewood Park. It's Blackburn 2, Huddersfield Town 2, and what a story Juninho Bacuna's turning into. On his jersey. Then he curves one down the inside right channel. It's brought down by Grant with Civic accompanying him. Then the cross, far post, goal! Christopher Schindler nipping in at the back stick after Karlan Grant's assist. It was a quickly taken free kick by Simpson. Grant made the break and Christopher Schindler slides the ball into the open goal from close range. It's Town 1, Barnsley 0. Places the pass over the halfway line. Now O'Brien gets it back from Jaden Brown. So strong on the ball, O'Brien. Goes past Anderson again and finds Grant in space. Grant shot, 2-0 Huddersfield Town. A right-footed curler high into the top corner. And that should be that for Town against a weakening Barnsley, I'm afraid. It's 2-0.
Yeah, as Schindler plays it all the way back to Grabara, edge of his area. Out of sight of me with the post in the way, but he managed to get it away, and then a ball over the top by Karlan Grant, looking here for Fraser Campbell. Left hand side, inside the area he goes, plays it backwards to Grant. Grant now onto his right boot, goes for goal and scores! Karlan Grant! Low, powerful, emphatic, into the bottom corner. He slides on his knees in front of the 1,600 travelling Huddersfield Town fans. Goal number 9 for Karlan Grant, and the Terriers lead in the capital. It is Brentford 0, Huddersfield Town 1.
Bacuna as a makeshift right back after the reshuffle. Makes a run downfield and a 1-2 with Pritchard works well. Bacuna regathers, charges forward, edge of the box, Bacuna, a toe poke and a goal from Juninho Bacuna. Lovely run, 60-70 yards downfield, 2 1-2s and a poke past the keeper to bring Town a bit of consolation. It's Preston 3, Huddersfield Town 1. Bacuna doesn't get enough lift on his chip down the right hand side. It's headed away, but it comes back to Town's midfield. Early ball played through. Here's Fraser Campbell. Wonderful finish by Fraser Campbell. That's brought the home crowd to its feet. Campbell picked his moment to draw the keeper and guide the ball into the far corner for the opening goal. He's one of our own. It's Huddersfield Town 1, Birmingham City 0. What a finish by Fraser Campbell. Approaching, we've got 5 minutes left. Grant takes on the defence, skids across into the box. It's helped away by Baston, but on his Forrest Pritchard. He has a dig from 25 yards, hits a Town player, falls to Grant, who scores from loose play. It wasn't the most cohesive move you'll see, but Karlan Grant has pounced on the opportunity in front of goal to grab his 10th of the season. It's 1-1, just when Town needed it most. Square for Stankovic. Bacuna pings it left. This is decent rhythm by Town. Not much territorial gain at the moment, but at least they've got the ball. Bacuna picks out Grant, is running behind, he's onside, turns, scores on the turn, Karlan Grant. One touch to turn, he's fired it right-footed. Maybe a very slight deflection by the defensive challenge, but it's in the bottom corner, and it's Bristol City 2, Huddersfield Town 1. Here's Karoma, stepping, dribbling. He's tackled eventually. The ball fielded by Kachunga. It's driven in from distance by Bacuna from 20 yards. Great strike yet again from distance by Juninho Bacuna. His 5th goal of the season. It's Bristol City 5, Huddersfield Town 2.
That is an absolutely superb strike.
Having nodded away, Schindler has also found Bacuna, who brings in Danny Simpson. Injury time at the Valley. Can Town penetrate? Simpson gets a poor pass back from the defence and quickly finds Huddersfield. Huddersfield's cross. Matty Daly's shot. Goal, Huddersfield Town! Goal, Huddersfield Town! Young Matty Daly has broken the deadlock at injury time. It's Charlton 0, Huddersfield Town 1, and Matty Daly will never forget this moment. Mounier is put out of play for a throw in. Town take it quickly. Oh, and Jonathan Hogg has found Carlin Grant on the left hand side. Chance for Town here. Grant cuts infield, right footed shot. Goal, Carlin Grant! An absolute beauty into the top corner. No room to manoeuvre, no backlift. Right footed shot. Wigan 1, Huddersfield Town 1, and Carlin Grant, after a quiet day, is right back in business. Carlin Grant's corner from the left, a floater, wide-ish angle, heads up on the far side. Mounier, Chalobah's volley is blocked, and then it's in from Schindler. A wonderful connection from Christopher Schindler. The skipper, usually known for his headed goals, has smashed in a volley from 10 yards. It's Huddersfield Town 1, Nottingham Forest 0, and that is a popular goal for the skipper. Huddersfield Town lead Nottingham Forest 1-0. An early second half corner. Mounier's header at the far post from Grant's delivery. Steve Mounier doing what he does best for what is his first goal of the season at last. It's come in match number 23. It's Town 2, Nottingham Forest 0, and surely they'll hold on now. 25 gone. Blackburn lead 1-0. Bacuna's free kick for Town. Stankovic in front of goal. Steals in behind to equalise with a wonderful header. What a terrific free kick by Bacuna. And Jon Stankovic so deserves that. It's 1-1.
Superb, great ball from Bacuna. Goalkeeper can't come, defenders don't want to commit because it'll end up in the back of their own net, and Stankovic times his run to perfection. He didn't do it on Boxing Day, he's done it today.
Ball out of their own defensive area. Now Lenihan plays it for Bennett, and the skipper gives it to Huddersfield Town, and Mounier runs towards the penalty area and shoots and scores an absolute beauty. Steve Mounier curls a corker past the diving Walton, and Town, for the first time this season, have come from behind to lead 2-1 against Blackburn Rovers. What a moment for Steve Mounier.
Where has that come from? Banks one in the top corner from all of 25 yards. Absolutely superb strike, but wow, that is an unbelievable strike from Steve Mounier. Goalkeeper, absolutely no chance. Walton's done a dive, but more of a token than anything else because it was past him before he even knew what had happened. Absolutely brilliant strike from Mounier.
Turning defence into attack like he did against Blackburn on Sunday. Now the corner, Mounier's header! Mounier's header equalises from the high swerving delivery from Colin Grant. The back square, and this crowd knows that now Town are level, they can go on and win. 1-1 against Stoke. Tease their home fans all day. Town suddenly are on the front foot. Bacuna's free kick, near post, the keeper misses it. It's off the defender and into the back of the net. Danny Bart standing on his goal line, couldn't stop it, crossing the whitewash, and Town have struck twice in a couple of minutes to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Now they lead by 2-1. Bacuna from deep crosses. Diaby makes a hash of it, but Town can't pounce. Here's Lewis O'Brien, who fires in a beautiful goal from the edge of the penalty area. A rising high left-footed drive from Lewis O'Brien. Town's go-to man this season has done it again, and maybe there's a chance here at Oakwell after all for Huddersfield Town. 2-1 Barnsley.
Wow. People, why you get caught up in the emotion. What a strike that is. If there'd have been two goalkeepers in that goal, they ain't stopping that. That's contender for goal of the month right there. Wow, what a strike.
Bacuna brings the ball down after the switch back to Grabara. Bacuna sides in field, attacking from the right. Lovely crossfield ball for Grant. Grant's in the penalty area. Grant shoots. Carlin Grant scores! Cutting in from the left side. He measured his curling shot. It might have got a slight deflection, but it fit in the bottom corner beyond George Long. It's Carlin Grant's first goal since mid-December. And Town lead at Hull City by a 1-0. Toffolo throws short. Kachunga looking for work. collects the ball, takes on Lichai, good looking cross, finds Mounier who scores! Mounier heads in from close range, Kachunga gets deserved credit for the assist, and Huddersfield Town lead 2-1 in injury time at Hull. They're poised for what could be their first win of 2020, and Mounier celebrates in front of the Town fans. Go to deliver here, but it's low, it spins, it's touched by Schindler, into the path of Smith Rowe, into the box, Smith Rowe scores! Emil Smith Rowe pokes one past the Fulham keeper, and Town could yet find a way back into this game despite the catastrophic start. A really deserved first goal in Huddersfield Town colours for Emil Smith Rowe. It's Fulham 3, Huddersfield Town 1. Better challenge by Janine Bakuna, and now he sidesteps away from his opponent. Now he runs from deep. This is Bakuna at his best, but he runs into McDonald. He gets a lucky ricochet back off the defender, and he's released Smith Rowe down the right. Smith Rowe's cross. Mounier scores! Town are back in this match. Bakuna has opened up yet another opponent from one of those trademark penetrating runs from deep. Smith Rowe, the link man to Mounier, who almost stumbled on the ball and blew the chance, but he just managed to feather it over the line, and from 3-0 down, Town have 2 at Fulham, and we're not even at half time yet. Bakuna, wonderful skill, gets around Todd Kane, pokes it forward, Toffolo chases, is he quick enough? They fall in the box, and he crosses anyway, for a headed goal by Elias Kachunga! Toffolo persisted, delivered the cross to the near post, and a classic Kachunga goal gives Town a 1-0 lead against QPR. To put Huddersfield Town in pole position for 3 points against QPR. Mounier comes up right-footed and scores beautifully with a lifted chip wide to the keeper's left. It's 2-0 Huddersfield Town against Queen's Park Rangers, and this surely is the start of Huddersfield Town's recovery. 2-0. Mounier's touch back to Smith Rowe. Derby lead 1-0. But have their backs to the wall as Town come forward. Toffolo into the box, dribbles between 2 players and scores! Harry Toffolo! What a wonderful goal! His first for Town! Town's left back gets a reward for a magnificent start. It's the equaliser at Pride Park, and he made it all himself. A siding run between 2 Derby players and an angled shot to the far side. Derby 1, Huddersfield Town 1, and anything can happen now. For Hogg, who switches right. Here's Willock in the penalty area, drifts it, scores! Chris Willock! Willock with an angled shot off the far post has equalised for Huddersfield Town. 1-1 at Swansea, and anything can happen now after Chris Willock's first ever goal for Huddersfield Town.
Yeah, great build-up, great finish. It comes from Hogg's left-footed first time pass over to Willock, absolutely superb in loads of space. Steve Munio's getting he's trying to claim something in there. I don't know if he's got a little touch on the way in, but he's picked his shot superbly, hit the back post.
Away from the chasing Henriksen quite easily. Smith Rowe comes back in field. Beautiful pass across the park to pick out his mate Chris Willock. Willock attacks the box. Left-footed shot. Wonderful goal, Chris Willock. What a strike from the young boy. Willock scores his first home goal for Huddersfield Town. It's an absolute beauty against a rattled Bristol City. Town 1, Bristol City 0. But Bristol City are having a very bad night, and it could get worse because Carlin Grant is about to strike from the penalty spot in front of the Cowshed Loyal. Grant against Daniel Bentley, right-footed into the bottom corner. Scruffy penalty by Carlin Grant, which the keeper nearly got, but it counts, and it's 2-0 Huddersfield Town against Bristol City. McGeady has taken the ball off Fraser Campbell, and then Carlin Grant dispossesses Oshilaja and scores in the penalty area. Yet again Charlton lacking in movement at the back. Oshilaja's touch was awful in his own box, and Carlin Grant has pounced against his former club to drive Town into a precious 1-0 lead with his 15th goal of the season. It's Huddersfield Town 1, Charlton 0. Huddersfield Town lead Charlton 1-0. Toffolo and Pritchard. Toffolo runs to take the return ball and crosses on the run. It's over on the far side, and Mounier chests it in for 2-0. Steve Mounier didn't know 100% what was going on as the ball bounced in towards him, but Toffolo and the combination down the left side with Pritchard has opened Charlton up to make Huddersfield Town's most important goal of this phase of the season. Mounier scores with his chest. It's 2-0 Huddersfield Town now against Charlton, and these are precious points. The 89th, as Simpson and Bacuna combine. Then Mounier touches it back to Bacuna. There's a defender down. Bacuna plays it through. Chance for Grant. Scores! From 10 yards out, Bacuna did the preparation work, and Karlan Grant ran into space to fire in his second close-range goal of the afternoon and seal a very important Huddersfield Town victory. Their 11th of the season. They'll move on to 42 points, and safety is getting nearer and nearer for Danny Cowley's team. Bacuna, having come on as a sub, has put himself about. He's still on the ball. Bacuna shoots. It's an absolute beauty. What a strike from Janinho Bacuna. Bacuna at his best from 25 yards. An absolute net buster from the Dutchman into the top corner. Huddersfield Town 4, Charlton Athletic 0. What a way to prepare for the derby at Ellen Road. And Town have 3 lovely points in the bag in the fight against relegation.
Talk about making a statement to the rest of the lower part of the division. Absolutely superb. Bacuna looked like he was just going to lay it off. Chucks the eyes out and bang.
Karlan Grant, leading scorer, will go right-footed against Brice Samba. A stuttering run by Grant, who scores low to Samba's left. Samba never even dived for it. Grant moves on to 17 goals for the season. It's his 5th successful penalty. And a penalty for Karlan Grant. Right-footed against Lee Camp. Grant strikes it. Keeper gets to it, but it's into the roof of the net. High off Lee Camp. And Town lead by a goal to 0. Thank goodness Karlan Grant put some power behind that, because Camp guessed right. It's 1-0 Town. Town's free kick is turned into the back of the net by Fraser Campbell. Toffolo's delivery low from the left-hand side. Fraser Campbell pokes it in from 6 yards, and Town have taken a big step outside the relegation zone with 6 matches left to play to save their championship status. They lead 2-0 at Birmingham. Harry Toffolo lifts the ball very high from this free kick. He's aiming towards Munio, gets his header in. Brilliant. Goal! Huddersfield Town. Kachunga diving in from very close range to connect with Steve Mounier's link header. Kachunga has scored. Huddersfield Town lead by 3 goals to 0 at Birmingham City, and this is the kind of performance which will avoid any threat of relegation. Town suddenly look very safe.
Huddersfield strike early. It is Bacuna's delivery straight towards goal. Saved by Johnston, put in. What a massive goal for Huddersfield Town, as it's knocked in by the former West Brom player Chris Willock. Disastrous start for West Bromwich Albion. Question marks over the goalkeeping there from Sam Johnston. West Brom fans haven't been totally convinced by him since he joined the club. That certainly was unconvincing. Off his leg and straight out into the danger zone, where Willock really couldn't miss. There's the challenge of Krivinovic. O'Brien, Smith Rowe. That's it! What a huge goal! Not only in this game, but in the Championship as a whole. A goal which secured Huddersfield survival and puts West Bromwich Albion in a very tricky position. Leeds United on the verge of promotion as well. It's a goal which means so much, and it's the substitute Emile Smith Rowe who has provided totally free in the West Brom back line. Criminal defence.
Nice pass by Trevor Chalobah to find Pritchard. Pritchard releases Grant down the middle. Grant scores with a shot on the run. 1-1, and Town are back in the game at the New Den. Wonderful combination down midfield. It started with Chalobah, Pritchard linked with Grant, and that was a classic Karlan Grant finish in his native London for his 19th goal of the Championship season. It's 1-1 between Millwall and Huddersfield Town.